Friends, today I bring you a message that transcends time and space, a call that directly touches our consciences and that we cannot afford to ignore. No matter where you are, what your faith journey or your personal beliefs are, what you are about to hear concerns all of us. The story I will tell you comes directly from the heart of Bosnia-Herzegovina, from a place that for decades has been the center of extraordinary events, Medjugorje. Here, the visionary Mirjana Soldo received a message of extreme urgency and gravity, a warning that heaven wanted to transmit to all humanity through the voice of Our Lady. But before I reveal the details of this revelation, I ask you for a small gesture. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. In this way, you can stay updated on all the revelations and spiritual messages that are too often ignored by the media. Now, open your heart and prepare to discover a message that could change the course of events. In the silence of Medjugorje, during an apparition of Our Lady, Mirjana Soldo received words that made her soul tremble. A message of extraordinary importance, intended not only for the faithful, but for all humanity. Pray for these 5 countries. 5 nations, 5 places on earth that are facing terrible trials, wars, natural disasters, unprecedented social crises. But which countries are these? Why did Our Lady choose them? The message Mirjana received did not reveal the exact names of these nations, and this leads us to an even deeper reflection. The Virgin Mary is not only asking us to pray for a list of specific countries, but to open our hearts and recognize the pain that affects all of humanity. Let us look around us. Everywhere in the world, there are nations tormented by conflicts, persecutions, poverty, and catastrophes. Our prayer must not be limited, but extended to all the populations that suffer. Perhaps our own homeland is among those that need our spiritual help. The Virgin Mary gave us a clear indication: do not remain indifferent. Prayer is not only a religious gesture, it is an act of global solidarity, a way to weave bonds of hope between peoples. But many ask, can prayer really change the destiny of the world? The answer is yes. This is demonstrated by many events in history in which the power of collective prayer has brought miracles and unexpected turns. This is demonstrated by the inner strength of those who, in pain, have found peace through faith. That's why today I invite you to a concrete gesture. Write Amen in the comments if you believe in the power of prayer. Let's make it a cry of hope, a wave of light that spreads in the digital world. Now, let us join together in a moment of deep prayer for those 5 countries and for all those who suffer. Holy Mother, Queen of Peace, we turn to you with a sincere and humble heart. You who spoke to your children with words of love and warning, hear our plea. We entrust to you those 5 countries for which you asked us to pray, but also all nations that suffer from wars, disasters, and injustices. Protect the weak, console the afflicted, give hope to those who have lost it. Heavenly Mother, intercede for us with your Son, so that humanity may find the path to peace and conversion. Guide us with your light, now and always. Amen. The Virgin's message in Medjugorje is not an isolated case. For years, through various apparitions around the world, Our Lady has been warning us. Humanity is at a crossroads, a crucial moment in its history, and our future depends on the choices we make today. But are we listening to these calls, or do we continue to ignore them? Marian apparitions are not a recent phenomenon. Since the beginning of modern times, the Virgin has appeared to humble and simple people, transmitting messages of conversion, prayer, and warning. In Fatima, in 1917, Our Lady had already foretold wars, suffering, and persecutions if the world did not convert. In Lourdes, in 1858, her message was clear: pray, do penance, return to God. And now in Medjugorje, the call is even more urgent. What does all this mean? If we analyze history, we see that many of the predictions made in the apparitions have come true. The wars that Our Lady had announced have actually occurred. Religious persecutions have increased, and faith seems to be increasingly set aside. Today we live in a world where spirituality is often ridiculed, where prayer is considered useless, and where many think that religion is just an ancient superstition. But can we really afford to close our eyes to all this? Let us look around us. How many times have we witnessed sudden calamities, devastating wars, unexpected events that have shaken the world? Are these perhaps the signs that invite us to return to God? Pandemics, earthquakes, floods, increasingly serious international tensions. All this seems to forcefully recall what Our Lady has said many times. Humanity must change course, must rediscover faith, must return to prayer. Yet too many ignore these warnings. Many consider them simple superstitions, popular beliefs without any foundation. There are those who say that science explains everything, that there is no need for faith to understand the world. But can we really be so sure? Can we really afford to remain passive in the face of such an urgent call? This is the question we must ask ourselves today. Do we still believe in the messages from heaven? Are we ready to do something to change the world through faith? I want to know your opinion. Write in the comments what you think of these warnings. Do you think it is really time to listen to them? Make your voice heard, because the first step to change things is to become aware of reality. Every day, each of us is faced with a choice. We can remain passive spectators of the world's pain, or we can become instruments of peace and hope. Our Lady has called us to be active, not to limit ourselves to observing, but to pray, to act, to bring good wherever possible. Many might think, but what can I do? I am only one person. I have no power over wars, economic crises, or the suffering of others. Yet each of us has a very powerful weapon: prayer. Not all of us can travel to war zones to bring aid. Not all of us can resolve political or economic crises. But we can all pray, spread the light of faith, bear witness to hope in a world that increasingly needs it. Think of how many people feel alone, desperate, abandoned. A simple act of faith can change someone's life. A word of hope, a moment of shared prayer, a sincere testimony can awaken a conscience, rekindle a spark of faith in someone who has lost it. This is why we cannot remain indifferent. And here comes our second appeal. If you believe that these messages should not be ignored, support this channel. Today, social media and the means of communication are inundated with negative news, superficial content, messages that distance from faith. But we can make a difference. We can use these same tools to spread good, to make the voice of truth heard, to bring hope to those who need it. Leave a like, share this video, subscribe, and activate the bell. Each subscription is not just another number, but a strong signal. I am here. I believe. I want to bring light to the world. This is how we can build a community of faith, united by prayer and concrete commitment. Let us not allow indifference to take over. Let us respond to this call with determination. The future is in our hands, and Our Lady has shown us the path to follow. It is up to us to follow it. The message of Our Lady is not only a warning, it is also a promise. God has not abandoned his people. Despite the difficulties, despite the trials, despite the darkness that seems to envelop the world, there is always hope. Our faith has the power to transform fear into hope, anguish into trust, darkness into light. Every crisis, every difficult moment can become an opportunity for spiritual growth, conversion, and return to God. The Virgin has never left us alone, and even in the hardest moments, she continues to watch over us, ready to guide us towards truth and peace. But this promise of hope requires a response from us. Are we ready to welcome this call? Today I ask you for a concrete sign. Write in the comments, I answer the call, to declare your commitment to pray, to spread the message of Our Lady, to live the faith with courage and determination. Together we can be the difference. Together we can bring Mary's light into the world. There is no greater strength than faith lived with sincerity and love. We are not alone, and we never will be. May God bless you, and may the Virgin Mary continue to protect us.